All right, let's see if I have done this right. So we're going to go to view, present, and I think I have. So this little lesson right here is about digital learning competencies for teachers and our plan of action. So like my plan of action, what am I going to do with the information I've learned about the digital learning competencies? And I think appropriately so, the first one is the one that we're tackling. And leadership and digital learning is what it's called. We're going to go over all the different parts of leadership and digital learning. So engaging in virtual face-to-face learning communities to expand technology apps for professional growth, right? So we want to show how we've mastered technological apps for professional growth. There's a reason that growth is in capital letters, because it's an important word in all of the things that we do. It's an important word in life. It's an important word in education. It's an important word in teaching, because if we're not growing, we're stagnant. And if we're stagnant, we're dying. And we don't ever want to do that. We want to constantly learn. We want to continuously improve. So that being said, CTE Summer Conference in Guilford County, it's a fantastic way to get different technological outlooks and aspects and applications and ways to use them in your classroom. If you haven't been to Guilford County's CTE Summer Conference, it's really good. Last year, the next one on the list is EverFi. Last year, I learned about EverFi, and we use EverFi in our classroom to teach kids about all kinds of different topics. It's a bad way of saying kind of like a TED for applications, right? It's got all kinds of applications. We even have one that the kids can design their own shoe, because that's a big thing that kids like to do, is design shoes and have something that they can, tangibly hold on to. So showing them how to use these applications and letting them understand them really helps expand what I know also, because I get to use them too. So that's wonderful. Constant use of applications and collaborative software. We need to use software all the time. We need to use these applications because we're teaching our children and we're teaching the people around us. If we use it and we create a culture of technology, then the people around us use the technology also. They see how well it works, and they see what's a good way to use it and how they're going to use it, and they're going to expand on that, and they're going to use it, and then they're going to learn how to do something, and they're going to teach you, which means that you just go in a circle of learning things with each other. And then my pledge is to add a new application a year. Try something new a year. This classroom's given me a bunch. Add a new one a year, and maybe even let my students pick it. Maybe say, hey, let's try these 4. Which one do you like? Let them pick it for the year, and that's the one we use depending on what we're trying to do. Take initiative with own professional growth to inform about my practice, right? I need to share what I've learned and my growth with my colleagues. I need to let them know, hey, here's what I've seen, here's what I like, here's what I do. They might even come back to me and go, okay, well, you like that, here's what I do and don't like about it because I've used it before. Or they might love it and say, oh, I want to try it, right? Steal or borrow ideas. Steal's a great word. It sounds terrible, it sounds awful. Steal's a great word. The company I used to work for is a Swedish engineering company. They used their motto was steal with pride. If you see something that works and somebody's doing it, we're not copyright infringing and we're not doing patent infringement. We're talking about if you see an idea or a method that somebody else is using and it works, you should take it because there's a reason they're doing it. And especially if they excel at it, look at it, learn from it, use it. So steal or borrow ideas from other teachers or teachers in the information sessions that I'm doing, or to use in my own classroom. I'm sold just from doing this class this year. I'm sold on Google Docs. Never used them before. Heard about them. Didn't really use them. I knew how to use them. Sold on them. Love how diverse and easy they are to go from one thing to another. Right? So that will definitely be incorporated into my classroom. And also screen recordings. This is what we're doing right here. Screen recordings I'm sold on screen recordings, especially for online education. I can incorporate this in my class easily and be able to give them some instruction audioly, maybe not the right word, but some audio instruction to go with what they're reading, right? The visual. And then encourage technological collaborative sessions within my teaching circle, right? So if we're going to have PD sessions, we need to use technology within the PD sessions to share documents and to share things so we can collaborate. And then again, that's teaching people how to use this stuff. Demonstrate leaderships for technology beyond my own classroom, right? So what's the point of doing it if it's just in my classroom? Promote the use of applications in other classrooms and throughout the school, right? Even for administration, can you do it? What about parents? Does anybody ever talk about parents? We have a age of parents that grew up that have no idea what any of this technology means. I'm going to use it. The kids are going to use it. The parents want to check in on them. They have to be able to use some of this technology. So how about maybe even instructional tutorials on my school webpage that say, here's how to use the websites that you're doing, and kind of like this, and or just letting them engage in the applications themselves so they can understand it and they grow a little bit, right? So sometimes people that have never done this stuff get to grow a little bit, and then it helps them with other things that they're trying, because a lot of these things have a user interface that's very the same. So promote the use of applications with my students, student organizations, dictate technology use for parents of my students. We just talked about that. And then use the tools to collaborate with my counterparts in PD sessions. I said that earlier, right? In PD sessions, the collaboration tools on some of these things are so fantastic that it allows you to edit things, add things. People can add and subtract. They can do all kinds of things within the same document. It's fantastic. Engage in peer collaborative problem solving through continuous planning, designing, testing, evaluation, recalibration of teaching methods using applications and digital technology. That's a very fancy way. The state loves to make these big, long things that we get to read. But what it really, really means to me is we're continuously planning, we're continuously designing, we're continuously testing, because everybody understands, or they should understand, that the last thing that you used is not the best thing. It's just the current thing. There could be something better. Does it mean it's the only thing? No. Does it mean that it can't be the best thing? No. It just means that there's the possibility that there's something else that can reach another student in another way. So we have to be able to understand that there's other ways to reach children. Different applications resonate a different way for a different student. A different way of turning something in or collaborating allows a student that's maybe quieter in a classroom to be able to collaborate with other students on a virtual website and bring them out, you know, in the open as far as their personality, right? They might have been too scared to do it in person, but they're great on the computer. And they also get to use some of these technologies. By the way, I get to learn too. I get to see them do these things, and all of a sudden they're using them, and I don't understand how they did that cool thing that they just did, so they can show me. And next thing you know, everybody's learning. It's a learning community, right? So collaborate. So play with applications. I talk about playing with applications all the time. Play with them, try them out, fail, succeed, do all those things, and learn how to do them better. Collaborate with other technology teachers to try different applications to see which one the class preferred. I have 2 people in my department. We're a humongous department of 2. We can use, for the same 3 classes we teach, he can use an application for his class. I can use an application for my class, see which one we think worked better. And then we've covered 2 applications, and we can do that every semester or every year. We can try new applications. And then that way, instead of us both either succeeding or failing with one, he can see which one works and I can see which one works. And then we can swap or do whatever and add to our list, our toolbox of applications. Evaluate in different ways to find the best possible fit for an ever-changing population. The kids change. The kids change year to year. I've seen this without applications. I've seen it with applications. I've seen it with all kinds of social media apps. It's never the same thing every year, right? They change. Students' tastes change like the wind, right? It's up to us. It's not up to them. It's not up to them. Remind everybody that I ever see, it's not up to them, because they're children and they don't have the ability to have it be up to them. It's up to us to keep up with them. They're already ahead of us when most of this technology goes around. It's up to us to either stay ahead of them or to keep up with them. And that's important for us, because if we can keep up with them, we know what's current and keep them interested and engaged. And then promote lifelong learning as an iterative process, success and failure, grit and perseverance. The best thing I ever learned in life is you're not right. You're just something. The best thing I ever learned in life is you're not right. Whatever you did great is just that performance that day. How can we continuously keep learning? Growth mindset, you want to keep learning and learning and learning. I had a day that I was the best teacher on earth. I need to find the things that I didn't like about it so I can improve better, because there is no such thing as 100%. So how can I continuously keep learning, right? We need to establish a community of education from parents to kids to teachers to administration. It's a community of education, right? The community needs to all be on the same page, on the same at least wavelength for technology, which means that we are required, or it's our social duty, to teach people how to use these things. If we have the information, we have the technology, we should be teaching people how to use it. So everybody's on the same page. You want your parents to know what their kids are doing without having to phone call them. That's the best thing you can possibly have. That way, when the kid is failing or the kid is struggling, the parents can say, I already knew what the problem was before I came in. Are they still going to back the kid? Probably, but at least they already knew. So when you show them the information, they can put it together and synthesize it, and we can get to the real problem instead of just pointing fingers at each other. We need parents to be more involved in our children and our children's education. And then continual improvement. My final thing is continual improvement is a mantra that doesn't settle for good and constantly finds a way to improve. That's just what I just said. The world, I tell my students this all the time, the world is full of goods. We've got plenty of goods out there. I don't want any more goods. We need more greats. We need people that are great at things. And the only way to do that is continuously teach, to continuously learn. Same with technology, to continuously stay up so our kids come out better for it, and they can navigate the world at the best possible level instead of coming out and having to figure it out like we did. We want our kids to have a advantage in life. So that's my description of how this all goes down.